Okay, now we're on these 47 cases. So I gotta get these things all ready to go, just like I just got done doing on that set of 46s. So this one here, I did the JB weld on the inside of it to make sure the porosity holes got sealed up pretty good. So they did really good. I went over with my die grinder lightly, just lightly cleaned them. And I smeared the coat on there nice and even. It didn't have much buildup at all. You go like this, you don't really feel too much sticking up at all. Right. And on the outside here, I did a little bit out here on these holes in here where they're a little bit heavy. So I put a little bit on the outside edge too. So just a little bit, not much, just enough to fill in some of these holes. So I did this before I did anything on the cases after blasting, so there's no oil or residue, so it should seal pretty good. If there's any kind of a possibility of porosity leakage, it should be non-existent. So anyway, so this one I need to put the right side case race into, which is going to be one of these two here. The thin one is the right, thick one is the left. The other case is over here. So this one here, I did the same thing on it. I cleaned up a couple areas in here where there had some unevenness I didn't like. So same thing there, I did that. And on this one over here, we also had a lot of porosity up here in this top corner, right here. So I went ahead and put some JB weld through all of that area, smeared it off a little bit, and then I gave it a light blast to kind of hide it was there, so you don't hardly even see it. There's also the low spot right here in the gasket surface area. I went ahead and filled that in, and when I cut the deck here, that'll be cut smooth, so the gasket shouldn't leak right there like it was going to. And half the surface was gone, basically. So this one here, we still got a case race in there, so I can pull it out. And there's no set screws or anything on these early ones, it looks like, so it's just a matter of pushing them in and out. Clean the hole out, and then pushing the races in, which are standard ones are right here. Hope that's what we need. Okay, so the first thing I do is get something to push with. Let's see what we got to work with over here. It's not thick enough to do anything. It's not going to be tall enough for it to push into. Have to see if I got something else to use. Otherwise we'll have to use this on top of this and at least get it off this deck surface here. Barely off the deck surface. You don't want to push the center case out too much. Okay. Now we just need something to push on that with. That's too big to go through the hole. Maybe this hole right here. That's too big to go through the hole. And bigger. Probably too small. I don't have one. Probably got something better than that. Looks like I'm missing one. Oh well, can't hit on it, so it's going to be smaller. And that'll work. It's pushing on the surface pretty good, so that'll work for what we need. And might have to something else to push through also. A little extra height. Make sure to go all the way down. Alright, and then we push it back in. We'll have a bigger one for that, so we'll just use one of these. It's the size of the OD. That would work. Alright, that'll work. Take all your tools over the press. Got to work with over here. Used to have some kind of a tube that I pushed into, but I don't see that around here. And that one's too big. It's something about 2.5, 3 inches tall. With a big ass hole in it. Oh, I let's see, is this. Yeah, we can use this for now, I guess. Maybe. Oh, it fits in the other one. We'll find out. Otherwise, I'll find something else to use. Oh, my big nuts. I forget. Okay, well, there's some tubes up there. Yeah, I had those big nuts in the old shop. I wonder what I did with those. Yeah, I just thought about those. That's what I used to use. That doesn't work because it goes inside of that. Some small nuts under there. They ain't the big nut. But we have other stuff later in here that we've used before. I'm going to use this one right here. Almost reach that far. Yeah, I wonder where my big nut went to. Yeah, I remember that big thing. It's somewhere. Okay, perfect. That'll sit on top of that. Actually, I don't need to use that. I can just use this here. That'll fit on one. Doesn't fit on that side, but it'll fit on that side. And that's not quite deep enough to go all the way through, though. But if you put that on there, it will. Okay, we'll use this for the initial one. Go like that. Put you right there. Got our case right over here. Okay. Those right there because they go all the way through. We're good to go. Let's crank this sucker down. Put it over where it belongs. Ugh, stopped. Okay, make sure you're not hitting on the case, causing any damage. Okay, we're going to crank this up to high pressure. Low pressure is low pressure on me. I take about 4 tons to pop it, and we're doing about 2.5 to pull it out. So when you get down that low, you go back to high pressure and push it through. We're going through those threads right now. There you go. We like to cut the threads, we just shove the race right through the threads. Hole looks good. Oh. Another oil buildup in there. That's old oil. It stinks too. That's supposed to be oil. That's called sludge. Nasty ass sludge. Okay, so now wipe off this crap in here. Okay. A smooth surface to go to. So now we got to push against something solid here. Actually, no, solid's on the other side. It's on this side. Perfect. And I got made for it. And we can also use this one right here also. A bit lower. We don't need to be very tall, so that'll work too. Alright, flip that over. Okay, now we need a new part. Yeah. Touch something again. We need one of those. And we need a camera stand. There you go. We need all this stuff. Squeeze together. A lot of clearance in this shop for some reason. Alright, let's go over there. Can't see as much over here, but it's out of my way. Can't see squat though. Okay, that is the left side. Left side is a tall one. Take out the old gizmo there. Some people can just cut plastic. I like taking it apart. Like that. Okay. It almost falls out. Appears to be in there. That's a tight squeeze. I don't know how they got that in there. Paper feels moist. First thing you do is make sure there's no rust on the inside edge. If there's anything on the inside edge, you throw it away and start over. Now this looks like it's way too thick to be used. What year is this part for? It says 1940. Okay. Looks thicker than it should be to me. Should be the same as this one. We'll find out in a minute here. Same deal. Look for rusty fingerprints like that in there. Looks like somebody finger fucked the inside of the hole there. That's why you try to grab it from the outside edges where it doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter on the ends. Over here where it doesn't matter here. It doesn't matter as much on this, but you try to stay off if. You definitely stay off the inside. So, alright. Hole size appears to be the same. It's the correct one. Because the 54 has a smaller hole in it. It's different. When you're only. Okay. I like using a press fit lube. It's a Sun and press fit lube. Can't read the label, but it says lubricant on it. There's a number right there if you could read it. It's thick, nasty smelling, high sulfur lube. Stinky crap. A little bit on the inside edge there. Way more than I needed. Over in this case here and do the same thing to it. It's a nice layer on the inside. Side case. Don't forget your sleeve that went on the ground. I thought I was going to forget that, didn't you? Okay, so we got a oil groove. Make sure that goes up. There's also an oil hole. That's right here, in line with that groove that goes to that hole there. That way when your oil goes through that, it lubricates that thing. So you don't have to be perfectly lined up, you got a big hole in there. You just got to catch it. So just kind of eyeball it. And it looks like it's lined up pretty closely. It should be good. And we'll use the big one over here. That's why we got the big one. And you just push that thing down until you're all the way down. So this one, the press is pretty high in the air, so let's go ahead and get this way up there like that. We'll move this thing up in the air a little bit. It's best to keep your ram up inside the ram where it's stronger. Makes it live longer. Okay. Reline up our hole again. Somebody moved it. Okay. Limited space around here, so we're just going to have to deal with a lack of clearance around here. Helps to line up your parts. Make sure your hole's lined up pretty close. Looks pretty close to me. And go up to 10 just to make sure it's tight. Okay, so that went in there about 2 to 3 tons initially, and it went up to about 4 at the very end. Pretty much about 2 to 3 tons all the way down, which is not real tight, but it's tight. 4 to 5 is a little bit better, but 2 to 3 is not real bad either. So you want to make sure it's all the way in flat. There's no lip on the inside there. And it helps to blow through this hole, make sure it blows all the way through, so you know it's good. And if you don't see no metal transfer on the outside edge, that means it didn't hurt the hole going in. If you see a metal sliver over on this side, then you cut metal out, which is bad. So wipe off the excess. And there's no metal, nothing in the rag, nothing on there, a little bit on the rag. See a little sliver right there, you can hardly see it. See that sliver? That's residue. Yeah, I see 3 little ones right there, super thin. See those there? You see a little sliver? I'd rather not see any sliver, but that's pretty damn thin. That's probably not even a 1,000 sliver. So the sharp edge on the race right here, if it's not deburred adequately, will shave slightly. You don't want to see that, but it does happen. Okay, so this one has a lot less surface area, so it doesn't get as tight easily. It all matters what kind of press fit we have. We don't know. Alright, this is our welded case. Now, this case is strong enough, you just put it on this surface here, you're fine. We do have to make it flat though. Should be high enough. Okay, that sits flat right there. Actually pretty flat. Okay, so this one there's no lock screws and there's no oil hole in the case. But I still line it straight up and down so the oil can go straight down because it's only splash lubricated. So we'll basically just line it up with a cam bush in here. Like that should be good to go. That goes in pretty hard. It went in pretty good. Okay, I don't want to get too heavy with that one, so I went to 5 ton. That finished at about 4 ton again, so it went in hard all the way. So, and that one initially went in pretty hard, so there might be a little bit of sliver on the other side. Yep. Little sliver right there. We're not supposed to show that, but yeah, there you go. The bearing race went in pretty hard, and it took a little bit off at the very beginning, then it smoothed itself up, went down all the way. You don't want that to happen, but it usually does. The less you see, the better. It is what it is. So there you go. That one's not quite flush in there. Whoop. Back over here and kind of see it. It's in there all the way though. And you make sure you got the groove lined up the top, so some oil can go down in there. Alright, so now this is ready to be honed and figure what we're going to do. So now let's go bolt these things together and see how bad they are. Alright, we'll be back.